watching Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video I'm here with my full 7th round mock draft for the Washington football team. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. Let's get straight into today's video. If you guys know, you've been here around for since I started my channel like a year ago and whatnot, you know I like to do the draft mock drafts typically around draft time, and it's almost a month until the draft is here. I don't like to do that once the off season first start, because I don't really pay attention until the college scene, until after the national championship, to after the Super Bowl, and into close to free agency and the draft. That's when I first start looking at my college players for the upcoming draft, and once again that's what I did this year, so I felt like this was the perfect time to do my first mock draft. I forgot to mention that this mock draft was based solely on if we re-signed cornerback Ronald Darby and we found our quarterback of the future in free agency, or if we roll with Taylor Heineke or Kyle Allen. That's the reason why we didn't get a quarterback, and that's also the reason why we didn't draft a cornerback. Now this is my thinking going into free agency. Now this very well could be different a week from now, where we don't re-sign Ronald Darby, or we don't find a quarterback and we're drafting a quarterback and drafting a cornerback. So this is my thinking as of March 11th. Okay, so we're here at the 19th pick, our pick. But before we get into our pick, I just want to see what our counterparts are doing. So the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. The Dallas Cowboys went Patrick Surtain. So two of our division rivals went cornerback, and the New York Giants went Micah Parsons. So that's interesting. All of our counterparts decided to go defense with the first round, and I might as well add on to that train, because with my 19th pick I will be selecting a linebacker for the Washington football team. You guys know that is the biggest need in this year's draft. This is the biggest hole on our team outside of quarterback, and I feel like no quarterback is left on the board that's going to be good for us in the long run. You know I want a veteran. I wouldn't mind a young guy here, but I feel like linebacker is where we need to go, and Nick Bolton is the best linebacker left according to the Draft Network. But I'm going to go with my boy, my guy Zaven Collins out of Tulsa with the 19th pick. And welcome Zaven Collins to the burgundy and gold. I feel like this was the perfect option for Washington. Okay, so we're here at the second round, 51st pick, and I felt like we needed to go a little bit towards the offensive side of the ball. I was a little bit conflicted between wide receiver or tight end, and the guy Brevin Jordan from Miami is sitting here at 51. I felt like he cannot be passed up on. He already fell to our lap at 51. This guy is a stud. He would be phenomenal with Logan Thomas, a 1-2 punch in the making. So I feel like you cannot pass up on Brevin Jordan, so I'm going to go tight end here at 51. So we're here at the third round, 74th pick, and you remember we have two third-round picks this year, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Amari Rodgers. Those might be my pick right here, because although, like I said, I want a veteran receiver to go with Terry McLaurin as the wide receiver too, it's never too late to add on some depth pieces, or eventually a young stud that you never know could eventually break out, like a Terry McLaurin we got in the third round 2 years ago. So you never know. So I'm going to go with Amari Rodgers from Clemson. I like his player build. I like what he can bring to the field, and I really know him only because of Clemson and because of Trevor Lawrence. So with my second third round pick, I'm going to go with safety Tariq Thompson from San Diego State. You guys know I don't really think we need to upgrade the safety position, but it's no wrong of adding to the depth that we have already there with Landon Collins, with Cameron Curl, with Deshayes Everett, with Jeremy Reeves. I feel like you just can't go wrong with adding depth, so I am going to go with Tariq Thompson with my third round pick for the second third round pick actually. Okay, so with my fourth round pick, I'm going to go with a offensive tackle. Now you guys know I'm fine with rolling with the guys we have on the roster now, but once again, just like the safety position, there's no bad to adding depth to the offensive line. So I'm going to draft Robert Hainsey only because the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have a good, rich history of having offensive linemen go to the NFL and actually panning out. Look at Quentin Nelson, the best right guard in all of football. So I am going to go with Robert Hainsey out of Notre Dame. Okay, so now we're in the 5th round, and here's where you start to draft for your depth, but then also hope to get a gem, a stud that's been slept on. And with my 5th round pick, I'm actually going to draft an edge. Now, I know you guys are probably looking at me crazy, like, what are you drafting the edge for? Honestly, with Ryan Kerrigan leaving, we don't really have any depth pieces that we're comfortable with. Some of you guys are James Smith-Williams fans out there. He's okay, but we don't really have that good rotation anymore. When Ryan Kerrigan came in the game, I was fine with. Now that he's on the verge of leaving, we don't really have any depth pieces to back up Chase Young or Montez Sweat. So this isn't to interfere with them, obviously. This is just to get them some depth when they're tired. So once again, I'm going to go with the best edge rusher available, what happens to be Jonathan Cooper out of Ohio State. Hey, we got Chase Young last year from Ohio State. Jonathan Cooper coming from the 0-2, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's good. And obviously not Chase Young good, but good enough to have depth for the Washington football team just in case they need a breather, that being Montez Sweat or Chase Young. So now we're in the 7th round, the last round of the draft, and honestly, this is where you get your guys once again, like a Cameron Curl, a possible stud, a guy that's been slept on, and I'm honestly going to go cornerback here. As mentioned in the intro, I said that this is based off the guys that we re-signed, being Ronald Darby and also finding a free agent quarterback. This draft is based off us finding those guys, because if we don't find those guys, then obviously this draft is going to alter and change. Cornerback is going to become a main priority, and obviously quarterback is going to be a main priority. Since this draft is based off us re-signing Ronald Darby and finding our quarterback of the future, air quotes, going to draft a quarterback in the 7th round just for depth, because I'm fine with rolling with Kendall Fuller and Ronald Darby, the 2 outside corners. So now I'm going to draft UCF's Tay Gowan. He's a really solid depth piece that we can have and possibly a gem. You never know once these guys put on the pads and come to the NFL. You don't know who's good, who's not, until they actually step on that NFL gridiron. So with my last pick of the 2021 NFL draft, the Washington football team select Mustafa Johnson. Once again, another depth piece that's going to be behind Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis. Obviously, just a guy that's fighting to make the roster. I'm going to take Mustafa Johnson to close out the draft. This is the best draft I put together, this being my first one, so I felt like I did good for a debut. So to quickly go over the draft picks, you have Zaven Collins, who I'm hoping is going to be a stud for the Washington football team if we do draft him. 2nd round pick, you have Brevin Jordan, tight end out of Miami. Him and Logan Thomas can be a phenomenal 1-2 punch. In the 3rd round, we got Amari Rodgers. Then with our 2nd, 3rd round pick, we got Tariq Thomas out of San Diego State. With our 4th round pick, I got Robert Hainsey out of Notre Dame. My last 3 picks, I got Jonathan Cooper, Tay Gowan, and Mustafa Johnson. All depth pieces who can possibly come in here and make some noise. I got the edge rusher Jonathan Cooper for backup for Chase Young and Montez Sweat, obviously, because with Ryan Kerrigan on the verge of leaving, don't really have any depth for those guys when they need a breather. Tay Gowan, same thing. I hope we re-sign Ronald Darby. I did this based around us re-signing Ronald Darby. So Tay Gowan, welcome to the squad, and Mustafa Johnson to close it out. So yeah, man, there you have it. Let me know how you guys feel about my draft down below. Do you like it? What would you change? What would you rate my draft from 1 to 10? As always, it's been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 to this video, mock draft 2.0. If you guys want to see it, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington football team. It's been your boy Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you